Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with me. If you're just joining me, I'm Nikki and I'm helping you sew things for your friends and family. If you're coming back, if you're joining me again, welcome back and I'm glad you're here. I started to work on a project and then I realized that I could just show you guys. We're making that apron today. What I want to show you first, okay? Let's just take a look at this, at these two, okay? So I'm wearing this one in the picture, okay? This one, let me just put it right here for you. This one is single lined. It's not double, okay? This is called the quick go-to, okay? Of course, it looks all pretty. It looks nice. However, it's not double, okay? The same exact apron is right here, okay? Obviously different fabric, but I'm going to show you the difference. So here's the apron, okay? But here, look, we have another layer of fabric. I'm going to say go for the double fabric. See this? This is 2 layers, okay? And it just adds not only thickness to it, but it adds a little bit more for the quality, okay? So you get the thickness, but it looks good. It's not see-through. It isn't thin. It just shows that you just went ahead and did that little extra work so that you actually don't see stitch lines from the fabric that you've put on for the pockets, okay? I've used coordinating thread here, so of course you don't really see it, but if you're a beginner, you might not do such a good job. And you know what? It's just a little bit more. You can get this muslin fabric for really, really cheap. It's used for drafting clothing, drafting patterns, but I love it. I use it for so many things. All right. So let's get started and I'm going to walk you through. If you want to skip the second layer, then fine. I'll just let you know what you need to do when we get to that point. Okay. If you do not have D-rings, okay, for this project, that's fine as well. I'll show you what you can do to skip that part of the project. Okay. All right. So a yard of fabric, 1 yard of fabric is what you need. And like I said, I cut this and then I realized that I wanted to show you guys how to do this. So what I'm just going to do is show you this real quick. I'm going to move this out the way real quick. Okay. I want to show you, this is, imagine if you had 1 yard of fabric. I just cut off from that end. We'll work with this end. So here's your 1 yard of fabric, okay? This is your folded edge right here, okay? Your folded edge, all right? And then on this side, you have your selvages, okay? Now, what you're going to do, okay? Like I said, I already cut mine, but I'm just going to show you. If you placed your fabric, if you have your fabric laid out and we're cutting on the fold, what you're going to do from the top of your fabric, the top part, okay? What we want to do is you want to measure in 5 inches from the fold. This is the fold. You want to measure in 5 inches. And then what you're going to do, I don't need to do this again. I'm just showing you because I already cut mine. So you're going to mark 5 inches. Okay. Then what you're going to do, the next thing, over on this end, so you have your fabric on the fold. Okay. Then what you're going to do is measure over from anywhere in the middle point. That will be fine. Measure over about 16, go for 17 inches over, okay? And you can mark at different points, okay, like this. My muslin underneath is not lined up. I should actually show you with this so that you can see better with contrasting fabric. Okay, so you're going to mark over 17 inches at various points, okay? And then what you're going to do, at one of those points, okay, this is about 16.5 inches from the bottom. Okay, 16.5 inches from the bottom. So here I have a mark, and I'm just going to connect these dots right here so that you can see. All right, so this will be the cutting line, okay? And then you will go back up to the top of this, of the mark right here. This mark is going to be for the chest portion. Let me just show you this here. I know this may seem confusing, but let me show you this finished product right here. Okay. So this is what this mark is right here. If we're looking at it from the fold over, those seam line allowances, of course, but you're going to cut for this portion across the chest. Okay. At that 5-inch mark right here, so this line and this line here, you want to connect. And all you have to do is draw a line to create the arch. Okay? And what that arch is going to do, it's going to create this portion here to rest under the arms and along the side right here, like this. See, once it goes on, that's what it's going to form, that arch. Okay? Then, of course, you're going to cut that out. All right? And when you cut that out, you are going to have the point that I'm at right now. I'm going to put this one to the side. And we're going to work with this. That's where I'm at right now. Okay? So this is cut, again, 5 inches. Over here, these are 17 inches. And straight across, all I did was connect the line. I did the same thing for the lining fabric. Okay? We have that cut. On the bottom of the fabric, you'll have enough fabric on the bottom to cut. You see, that's the fold right here of this fabric. That's the fold. Notice this is the selvage end right here. You'll have enough fabric to cut across. This is 3 inches wide. You're going to utilize the entire 1 yard of the fabric. You can choose to do this at the top or at the bottom. However, you're going to cut on the fold. Okay, this right here, we're going to work with this right now. This is going to be the necktie. Okay, so let's go ahead and prepare that. All right, so we're going to open that. Let me just cut off my selvages. Cut them off. Okay, I love selvages. I have turned selvages into belts and everything. Okay, you do not need to line this, but what we're going to do is we're going to prepare it to sew. Okay, so let's fold this inward. I keep forgetting, guys, that I got a new iron, and I keep forgetting I don't need the cord. I keep on picking up the base with it. All right, so we're creating a tab, and I tend to do this in a lot of videos. So if you're just joining me for the first time, what we're doing is folding over raw edges, and we are going to let those raw edges meet each other we're going to now open up those raw edges, have them face each other, go right inside to that middle line that we just created, fold over, okay, and we're going to iron. I'm going to fold it flat. That was pretty simple. We're going to do this the entire way down the neck strap. Okay. If you bought a material that's longer than the 44-inch bolt, well, then you can make yours longer, and instead of using a D-ring, okay, like this, instead of using a D-ring like this, you could actually just cut the strap in half when we're done sewing along the sides. You can cut the strap in half and just put half on this side and half on this side, and then you can have it as a tie around the neck. What we want to do at this point, we want to take our end pieces, and we're going to sew down about 1/8 of an inch, very close to the edge, all the way down on each side, left and the right sides. Okay. I have a little straggly there. I'll take it off. I'm always blowing threads at you. Okay. So what we're going to do at this point, I am just going to cut a small portion of it. There is no specific number, but for those of you who need a number, I'll just tell you. Let's see. So I just cut about 8 inches, 7.5 inches. You don't need it that long, trust me. Because the strap in itself is long. I just left it that way because it's an easy cut from, you know, since the fabric is already folded at the seam. We have those two. We have one side cut. Excellent. Let's go ahead and put that to the side for a moment. You have some fabric, the 8 by 8.5. Grab one piece for right now. These are going to be the pockets. Okay, grab one piece. And here's what we're going to do. We want to prepare the pockets to go right on to the apron. Okay, now I am going to use 2 separate pockets, and I'll tell you why. And you can decide what you want to do. Okay, I'm using 2 separate pockets because if you're wearing the apron, and if you want to put a cooking spoon in one, but if you love to multitask like many of us do, and you have your phone with you when you're cooking or something, you can put that in a separate pocket, and it doesn't even have to touch the things that you're actually cooking with. Okay, you can decide if you want to make one large pocket and sew a partition down the middle. Go ahead and do that. You know, you decide how you want to do your pocket. Okay, I'm working right here with the idea that I'm doing 2 separate pockets. Okay, and to do that, what we're going to do here, we have the 8 by 8.5. So on one side, all we're going to do is fold one side in, and we are going to flatten this down by ironing it. And it's folded down about 1/2 inch. Yeah, I got it right too. I eyeballed it and I got it right. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I fold in the sides first, okay, before doing the top and bottom. So I fold in the sides off the left and the right, okay, and then I'm going to fold up the top. Well, this is the bottom, and I'll tell you the reason that this is going to be the bottom. Okay, this is the bottom. Now, because this is going to be inside, I'm not concerned about these raw edges. We're not going to see these. But now that I'm getting to the top, okay, I want to fold it over once, and I'm going to fold it over again. I do not want to see the raw edges on this particular top portion of the pocket. We want it to look pretty from the top side. Okay, the bottom, again, we're not concerned about because the pocket is against you. But we don't want to see any raw edges on any part of the project that will be exposed. Okay. Okay. Now what we're going to do, let's prepare the top stitching for the pocket. Okay. I'll show you here. We are going to top stitch across the top of the pocket so that it has a nice finish edge. You see this? Look how nice this looks with it folded. Okay, where we don't see any raw edges. That's what we want. Remember to back stitch. And what I'm doing is I just lined up my foot here, my presser foot, with the end of the fabric. And that's how I know I'm going to get a consistent straight line, as well as catch the fabric from underneath. Right there, okay? Go all the way over to your edge and make sure you backstitch. Okay, where are my little weenie? My little weenie scissors. Oh, okay. Okay, these are pointier, so they snip better. Go ahead and do the second one, and then we are going to place it onto the apron. Okay. Okay. I'm going to grab the main fabric, not the lining piece. Leave that lining over there. Okay. Now let me show you something right here. This is how I figured where I wanted to place the pockets. I left the fabric folded exactly how it was when I cut it, because it was going to show me where this middle was, obviously. And so the idea is you want to have the pockets close by each other, not far away, because remember, this is going to be almost probably wrapped around at the hip side, at the sides of the hips. So you don't want the pockets over there. Grab that pocket, the ones that you just finished. And what we're going to do is we're going to, with the fabric folded, here's your fold right here, raw edges over here. We're going to place the pocket about 6 inches from the bottom. That's good. About 6 inches from the bottom. We have to leave some room for seam allowance down there. Perfect. That's 6 inches. And I'm just going to, I just want to see something here. I'm going to move this over a little bit. All right, great. All right, so go ahead and let's pin this into place. I'm going to pin it in several different places so that it doesn't shift. And I'm obviously only pinning through the top layer. Okay. All right, let's flatten that out. Ah, I just took my pin out by mistake. All right. All right, go ahead and flip this over, guys. Flip it over. All right, and we're going to put this, I can feel the ends of my pockets are right here. So I'm going to put this in the same place. And here's my tip. That's working out great. This way I know I'm going to get, and I'm going to have the same distance between the fold. I'm going to pin once and then I'll show you. I know I'm going to have the same amount of distance between the fold and the same distance from the bottom of the pocket down to the raw edge. Okay, I'm going to pin. We're prepping this so that we can sew a stitch line across the bottom. Here's what we're going to do now, guys. Let's go ahead and really close. We're going to sew. You're going to start at the very top of the pocket. Remember, we already sewed this part. We're going to sew from the very top of the pocket down around the 3 sides, close to the edge. That's 1/8 of an inch, okay? But look at those nice, pretty seams right there, that folded edge, okay? That's what we want to see. So 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Let's do it. Stitch. Okay. And down. Stay close to your edge. I used to hem pants at Uniqlo, and they, because the company was from out of the country, they like to sew with the Japanese style stitching, and so everything was done very close to the edge. Yep. So when I used to hem pants there, I just continued doing it when I was sewing. I like that better than some of the directions that I would see in patterns. It just looks cleaner. All right. Where are my little scissors? And of course they are, where are they? They're MIA at this point. Here they are. Ha ha ha. Okay. Clipping close. All right, and now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. See this, let me show you something, guys. This is why I sewed at the side that I did. Because if I were to sew with this portion first, if I started down at the bottom of the pocket, I would actually have to take the fabric out of the machine to stop at the top part of this pocket, which we don't want to have so many back stitch spaces. Okay, we don't want to have so many knotted ends. So start at the pocket at the top right hand side of both of your pockets, so you have one continuous sew line. Make sure you're straightening that fabric out as well. Back stitching at the bottom. Okay. Just making sure everything's staying. Go ahead and take out those pins. always race myself to see if I can get through a video quicker. All right, so at this point, we want to, two things. If you want to put a lining on your fabric, okay, this is the point that we are going to do so, okay? If you do not want to put a lining on your fabric, what you can do is fast forward through this point, and you can prepare your raw edges by folding over your raw edges, folding over again, iron them down, okay, all around, and then you're going to sew 1/4 of an inch close to the edge all the way around, okay? You would have to do the same thing up here as well. I'm putting a lining because I always tell you guys I go for quality. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Okay, I'm going for the lining. I'm going to put the pretty side of my lining with the pretty side of the outer fabric. Okay, pretty side to pretty side. Let's line them up right now. I'm going to pin in certain places. And we have to prep something else before we sew. Grab those, grab the strips of fabric that you have, the ones that are 3 by 25, grab those, okay? And what we're going to do with these, okay, we're going to fold these over again. You're going to do the same thing that we did with the neck strap, okay? The entire way. You're going to do this to both of the straps, okay? All right, these are going to be what go around the waist, the ties. Let's put some top stitching on both of the straps, okay? Same thing like the neck strap, down the left and right sides on both strips, okay? Left and right sides on both. Take one end of the strip and fold it in, okay? Just one end, fold the raw edges in and fold over before you sew, okay? That's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be the nice pretty edge, the nice pretty part of your strap that you tie, okay? So then go ahead and sew all the way down. Let's take those straps that we actually just finished sewing. Okay, and what we want to do is the one with the raw edges, okay, we're going to fold this up, go to the side of the apron, stick it inside of here, and the raw edge you're going to leave out, okay? You can put it any way you want to. I'm putting this about 1 inch down. Okay, to leave room for seam, for the curved seam allowances. So you can put anywhere from 1/2 inch down to 1 inch down. Pin this in place. And we want to do that to the same thing on the other side. Let's see, where's my, that's the pretty side. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Stick it inside of here between the pretty layers, the good layers of the fabric. Okay, this is where these are going to be tied. Okay, all right, that's good. I don't want to see my straps on the outside, which is why I am putting it on the inside. All right, let's go to the top, to the chest part. Get the straps that we have. Okay, we have the two sides. We have one long one, and we have the one with the short side. Again, you don't need to cut it. I cut this one a little bit too long. Doesn't matter. Okay, but I'm just looking to see. I have a straggly, guys. Ooh, okay. Take those two D-rings, slide it on. Now, if you are not using D-rings, you can still follow these steps. Just do the steps for the two pieces of the neck strap, okay? Because if you choose to tie them around the neck instead of using this, then you have two separate ties. All right, I'm inserting this right inside. All right, so we have, again, it's about 1.5 inches over. Okay. And I'm going to pin this. All right. I'm going to put in one side of the strap. All right. Stick it right in there. Again, if you need to be mindful of your pattern placement, be mindful of that. I choose fabric strategically for certain projects because I don't want to have to worry about print. I don't want to have to worry about things being upside down. So when I'm making aprons, I choose fun food patterns and things that I don't need to worry about. All right, so at this point, we're going to close this all up. All right, we are going to sew all the way around all of the edges, okay, with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Leave a portion at the bottom open, okay, so that you can flip this right side out. I like to do it on the bottom so that it's not obvious to everyone, even though we're going to top stitch it, okay? So you don't need to see this, but you can just go ahead and stitch all around. I'm going to start right here at the corner of the apron, okay, and go all the way around, just making sure that when I get to the areas where the straps are, back stitch, give it a little love. Okay, so go ahead and go all the way around those raw edges. Leave a portion at the bottom open. Clip those edges, clip the insides of the apron on all sides. We want to reduce that bulk as well as have a nice pointed edge when we are done and turn this. It's the green of the counter. Okay, there was a pin. I love tossing some straps at you, some scraps. Okay, turning it right side out. Okay, poke out your edges. All right, see, that looks good. This is why we want to poke out, this is why we want to cut those corners when we are done sewing, so that those seams look really nice and pointed. Beautiful, I like it. Make sure you go around to all of the corners and poke that fabric out, because once you turn this and start sewing to close to put your top stitch on it, it's harder to do, folks. Okay, you're gonna need the iron right now. Okay, all right, we want to prep this for top stitching. Top stitching makes everything pretty. Okay, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you know we top stitch everything. Okay, some people, if you want to choose to just go ahead and, doing it again. If you want to choose to just stop here, you can, but quality. Go the extra mile, folks. Okay, ironing. We have a open portion down here at the bottom. Okay, so this is where we're going to want to make sure, there it is, make sure that you fold under those raw edges. You might have to roll your seams a bit. Okay, so make sure you do that. Okay, if you can't roll them like by going like this, grab a chopstick. I love chopsticks. Grab a chopstick and go along the edge inside of your material. All right, I'm closing up that hole right there by ironing this flat. Okay, we want to do this all the way around. Okay. Before top stitching. Make sure you get your seam straight. Okay. I keep on trying to figure out how I can make videos shorter. But the truth is that if I don't show you all of the little tidbits, then you wouldn't know how to make a better product. That's what I'm trying to help you do. Okay, so if I'm showing you the final pieces on things, it's because I want you to know how you can make your things a little better and not just make things to make things. Okay, I'm rolling those seams again. Okay. Yep, I just spritzed by mistake. Okay. Okay, I'm leaving that. Okay. Here I am at the top. We're almost back at the beginning. Oh, did I leave one out? I left out one corner, you see? Nobody's perfect. I just got it there. All right. And now we're ready to top stitch. I mean, how many minutes of your life did that take extra just for you to top stitch? Not many, no. I mean, not the top stitch, but to iron. And it looks so good. Okay, so start off, I'm gonna start off in the bottom down here at the bottom of the apron. I'm going all the way around the entire apron, even the top, all the way across, back down to the end in order to put the finishing look on this pretty thing. Okay. Let's get to it. And I'm sewing 1/8 of an inch all the way around. guess what? All done. Look at that. Of course, what you will do is iron it in order to get out. Here, I'll just do it right here. Look. Iron it just to get out that folded, seam right there. And then you're all done. Of course, you got to iron the whole thing. But, all right, see that fold disappears. It's helpful for when you're sewing, and then you don't need it anymore, right? Looks pretty, looks pretty. And there you have it. I'll tell you this. Okay, so there's the other portion, the other side. You see, fully lined. Look how pretty it is with the top stitching. It looks so beautiful. You have given your straps a little extra love by top stitching on the top as well as doing it inside. Okay. Yeah, it looks beautiful. So you now know if you don't have D-rings, you can just do 2 straps and have it tied on the top. That's fine. I mean, you can switch it up according to however you want. If you would actually like this longer, you can have it longer, you know, but it's up to you. If you want it thigh length, then put it the measurements that I told you about. If you want it longer, make it longer. Add on 5, 7 inches. If you maybe, I don't know, if you wanted to use it as a vendor outfit, a vendor apron, this is a good size. If you want a farmhouse, farmhouse apron. The only thing that would, well, the backs, you would actually need to make them wider and cross over, but that's a different, we'll do that one. But yeah, so you just have to make this your own. You know, pick some pretty cool fabric, and then you can actually just make somebody a custom, pick a cool fabric. You can make somebody a pretty cool apron, okay? But you can either go the easy way, the quick way, where you don't have the lining, or take that little extra time to give them a lining on the back of that, okay? And then you know what? Head over and make them, I don't know if you've seen my pot holder tutorials, but you can actually make them matching pot holders to go with it, okay? Pot holders, or I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make, I have some of these, but I'm going to make matching mitts. And so, I'll show you, I can show you guys how to do that. All right, I'll tell you what. Click over and see another video. I'm going to do matching mitts, okay? So you'll have a nice set. All right, if you have questions, go ahead, put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you back here for the next tutorial. Thank you for stopping by. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. That's all.